So first, let's take a look at the game balance. So, there's a bunch of fixes. This is all free stuff, because some of this, I think there is some paid stuff in this as well, because of the new DLC. Fixed government change, not cost legitimacy. I think this is just, I don't know, I don't understand this wording, but this is like multiple times around here. See, like this one, remove the legitimacy penalty for changing government. So yeah, this means if you change your government, you will no longer drop down to half legitimacy, which is good. I did it once, and it happened to me, of course, even in this thing. Elections now use scaled Republican tradition. I'm not sure what this means. I guess it means that if you are at 90, you only lose like 9 instead of 10. Maybe it. That's what I think it may mean. Added oligarchic republic as a new basic republican government form. It's like what's happening in in Russia, right? The new category of dictatorship added that is treated as a republic if res publica, this is the new DLC, is not enabled. So, okay. It's like, if you don't have this, you will have this instead. I don't want to start another playthrough of EU4 right now. I want to do it tomorrow because I've already announced it will be tomorrow. So right now I'm just reading a little bit about this. I will zoom it in a little bit so you can see it clearer. And I will cover up a little bit of the text. Send friend invite on Steam. I will accept, of course, Kotor Jr., my friend. Next. Merchant republics no longer get plus 10 trade power. Just like not that much, I guess. Like, this is a lot of, there are a lot of changes in these, like, republics and monarchies and everything. Constitutional monarchy lost the prestige decay bonus and instead got minus 5 years of nationalism. Like, this is a godsend. This is fantastic, and there is a lot more of this in the patch notes. Enlightened despotism no longer gets minus 5 core cost, but instead minus 10% accepted culture threshold. So before that, you need, I think it was 20 or 30% of your total tax base has to be that particular culture to become accepted. And it was a lower, like 20 or 15% to drop out of being accepted. But with enlightened despotism, it's like, I guess, 40%. Oh no, it's only like 10 or 20% to get accepted. So this is pretty strong. It's pretty strong. If you have a lot of cultures, so for the world conquest. Administrative republics lost their tolerance bonuses and instead got minus 10% culture conversion cost. Nobody's using it. Even at minus 10%, it's so much diplomatic cost that just nobody's using this. And minus 5 years of nationalism. Like, this is like worthless, totally. Like, only if you have, like, you are 10 years ahead of time on diplomatic technology and you have no freaking idea to sink your diplomatic points in, you will convert some provinces, but no one is doing this. Like, minus 10% is not nearly enough. And it takes ages. And it provokes rebels. Like, this is just, I don't know why it's even in the game. Republics no longer become monarchies at 0 republican tradition. Instead, they have a chance to become a dictatorship if they fall below 40 republican tradition, with the chance depending on how low it is. I think I've read this even before in the patch notes for like 1.6 about the dictatorship. But this is actually pretty cool. And the good one is also, I think it's mentioned right here. The countries that become like dictatorships will return to the previous government form when the dictator dies. So basically, if you are keeping your dude like ruling over your country, eventually he will break down the country and he will be the Saddam Hussein, right? Or the Fidel Castro. But as soon as he dies, the people will take the power again back and they will elect someone good. So that's a good change, I think, as well. Interesting one. Merchant republics now have 3 different factions: aristocrats, traders, and guilds. 3 different factions. Is this something like the Ming has? Like they have like the eunuchs and the other ones which you can like choose and they have different bonuses. That's pretty interesting. But like the Merchant Republic, I think it's the last one you can get, so it's not like for that long part of the game. Legitimacy will no longer be set to 0 when changing governments. So this is basically the same as this, and this, and this. No, this is legitimacy. Yeah, this is legitimacy. 0? I think it was set to like half. This is just wrong. Oh, thank you, Jezza, for joining the Steam group. Countries that become dictatorships, yeah, this is what I mentioned, and this one as well. Military. Removed manpower impact from production size to be tied to increase by 5% from each military tech. Which means France will be nerfed, I guess, a little bit. But then again, they are mostly the technological leader, so they will still have the biggest army. But I'm not sure how this will work, like by 5%, but yeah. Like the base, yeah, I guess like it's pretty huge increase actually, but if you lose the... I'm not sure, I never like even noticed it's based on the production size, to be honest. But yeah, this will change a little bit, the balance in the game, but it should weaken the France a little bit. Ships trying to break a blockade to flee a port will now return back to that port if defeated. I guess before that they could like flee to some other port, effectively like getting around the blockade. That's what I assume. Fleets attempting to break blockades will okay, this is the same exact thing again. Why is it this thing twice? I don't know. Can no longer detach blockade fleets of 0 subunits. I wasn't even aware that this was the case. Diplomacy. Annual treaties now last 10 years, which is a good thing, because before the change, the annual treaties lasted as long as the truce, which means you annulled treaties and it was worthless, except if you had like some other ally that would attack them instead of you. So yeah, it's a good thing. And then you get to the next one and then you will start crying. If you will have any like ambition to start a world conquest as some minor country and not France or Russia. Even Russia will have issues like if you start as someone else than Muscovy. Anyway, truce length now scales to the amount of war score taken in the peace, from 5 years at white peace to 15 years at 100% war score. So, as I said before when he started streaming, this means that if you are a small guy, and you don't have small dudes around you, a couple of them, if you are, for example, Korea, which has like the Manchu and Oirat and Japan around, but yeah, you can take like Manchu, a little bit of them, and then you have to wait a long ass time if you can't take them all. And the Japan is even worse because they have high tax base, so like taking them over will take like a century. And even worse, if you finally get to taking out Ming, which I did in this Let's Play, or playthrough of multiplayer session, like I used their weakness, because they were like a little bit behind technology. I wouldn't be able to do this, which is one thing, which makes it a little bit harder. But then, as well, it would take like 200 years, even if I was winning war back to back, and it doesn't take into account like sieging the whole country. So it will most likely be like, I don't know, most of the game I would spend just taking out the Ming. And that's just stupid. And again, like, there's no point taking less than 100% war score. Because if you do this, you are gimping yourself. Like, you can take a white piece, plus take, I don't know, make them break the truce. So you can use this annual treaty. Or break the alliance with someone else. So you can then attack them again. But if you are already attacking them, and you are winning, why not take the stuff from them? Like, apparently their allies are like weak anyway. And if you take 50% and not the 100%, you will start another war for another 50%, for example. But those two wars together will be 20 years and not just 15 years truce. So it makes no sense. It only makes sense to take the full 100% war score. It's like the best value for the war score. Call for peace is now applied to all attackers. Which is, I guess, kind of weird. Call for peace starts when you have a certain percentage of the war score. But like the different countries, maybe this is for coalitions because they have like combined war score. But if you are attacking like not in a coalition, I think you have a separate war score. So I think this is only for coalition wars. So not only the leader takes the call for peace. Winning an independence war no longer gives imperial authority. Okay, I guess it's harder to... Yeah, I guess if you are a small guy, a vassal of someone, yeah, it doesn't give you imperial authority. I don't think you have that high of an ambition to become the emperor anyway. No, you have to be... what? I don't understand this change. Anyway, merchant republics now have a slightly harder time diplo-vassalizing. They were able to diplo-vassalize before? I thought you need a royal marriage for that. Merchant republics are now very difficult to diplo-vassalize. Can now diplo-vassalize without having a royal marriage. Okay, so this makes sense. So this means a republic finally can diplo-vassalize. So that's pretty cool. You don't need the royal marriage. And I guess the merchant republic is harder one of the republics to do it. So, okay. Having a royal marriage now gives a bonus to acceptance when diplo-vassalizing. It didn't before. Okay, so it's not required, but if you have it, it's easier. Now, can no longer use claim throne on countries with a different dynasty. Yeah, this didn't make any sense anyway, because you couldn't get the throne if you don't have the dynasty. So you can't put your dude up on the throne, right? Enforce peace option, maybe it was just confusing and people are doing it even though it wouldn't work. Enforce peace option will now probably account for current wars and will be disabled if they cannot join the war. It will also tell the reason why. Okay. Yeah, like I tried to enforce peace a couple of times, it never worked and I didn't know why, so this will at least explain. That's pretty good. Opinion malus for different religion is now reduced by positive tolerance. So I guess that's, yeah, that's between the countries. So if you are like a heretic and you have a good acceptance of heretics, you will not hate them by 40, but I guess by only 36, or no, it's capped. I read somewhere it's capped at 3, so like 37. Or maybe the difference is not exact, like linear, so it may be if you have a high tolerance, you don't hate them as much as maybe just minus 20. That's pretty good idea. Native vassals migrating will make overall discover province. I guess they could like hide in the terra incognita. It would be annoying, but yeah, this is like a bug fix most likely. Selling provinces now results in the settler getting inflation at the same rate as from gold taken in peace. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Like mostly if you are selling provinces, you are not doing it for the profit. You are just giving them to your vassal to like, to like get rid of the provinces so you don't have to core it. So yeah, like this is a minor like thing. WH loss calculation from peace deals or war exhaustion deals no longer 100 times what it should be. What? Well, that's interesting. I wasn't aware that it was 100 times what it should be, but like, yeah. Like war exhaustion is bad, especially if you have call for peace, but I have never noticed and never known that this was like a bug and it was like huge. Fixed issue when offering renouncing course in peace offer would cost diplo points for the renouncer. Okay, so this is a bug fix. This is actually pretty oh god. Yeah, this is a pretty important stuff. Because like paying the diplo cost, it's just no. Having a regency council will no longer prevent independence war. That's interesting as well. So you can start independence war if you have a regency council. This is like the only war you can start. Well, you can still be called into a war, I guess. Declaring independence war no longer gives massive aggressive expansion, which I'm assuming was a bug before, because this makes no sense. And now it's just... no, I've scrapped through this already and there's nothing about fixing the coring cost. Like, what Snake is talking about, and there's no chat. God damn it. There's no chat. Order. 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 There you go. What Snake is asking about is that when you hover over a province, over there, I think it's over the cores, you can see, you used to be able to see how much it would cost you to core that province, but now it's just showing 20 for everyone. It's just showing like the 20 and your bonus is right, but the 20 is just wrong. It's always 20. And I've seen even Arumba was confused about that. So I'm not sure why it's not still not fixed. I think they claimed they fixed it in one of the previous patches, but they didn't. So back to the patch notes. Where was there? Minimum relations for support independence is now -25. Okay, I think it was like any negative before, right? Or maybe it was higher. I'm not sure about this. I never used this before. HRE electors vassals is now considered under control of the overlord. I don't understand this sentence. This makes no sense. If he is in alliance, I guess. Maybe if he is a vassal, he's considered to be in alliance. This makes no sense. This is just wrong. Imperial authority no longer gained when princes convert to the emperor's religion. So yeah, imperial authority is once again lost when princes convert away from the emperor's religion. So this is like a nerf to imperial authority, and I guess it was easy to get it this way, just converting the princes to your stuff. Yeah, this is a nerf again. Marketplace and canal are now +2 trade instead of +1. And customs house is now +10 trade power instead of +5, and also as +2 trade. I'm not sure if anyone is actually building these buildings. Like, do they make big enough of a difference? Like, I tried it, and just to make like a dent, but with all the diplo power we are sinking into it, and the money, I don't think it's worth it really. Like, it's better to build ships if it's if it's a coastal line. Inland, it just makes no sense. It's just like changing the culture. I'm not sure if this is worth it, honestly. Even if these even the Paradox knows that this is worthless because they just doubled everything and they even added another bonus to customs house. But I still don't think this is worth it. Maybe the customs house, but you still have to go through the marketplace. I'm not sure. Rebels, build all the buildings. I do. Culture conversion is now twice as long as default, but culture conversion cost modifiers can reduce it. What the hell? I already talked about the culture conversion being totally worthless, and they make it even twice as long. Right now it takes like, I don't know, years to finish. This makes no sense, and nobody will do it when nobody was doing it anyway. Overextension over 100% now increases revolt size by multiplying with overextension. So if they would rise, if they would rise like 50 regiments, and you are at 150% overextension, which is insane, of course, they would rise instead with 75. That's what I take from this. So it wouldn't take them more likely to rise up. The overextension alone over 100 would take care of that, but it would make the revolts much bigger. So this is good. I've seen people and myself when I was starting to play the game, like taking 200 overextensions. This mean like crippling revolts, like insanely huge. Peasant rebels will no longer change a country's government when they win. I wasn't aware that this was happening. What kind of government they were like changing it into, like peasant republic? Religion capped tolerance towards heretics and heathens. That's what I've talked about already. So right now with all the like ideas and the government bonuses and everything, you could do much higher, get to much higher tolerance of heretics and heathens. Now it's capped, so yeah, I guess it was like abusable. You wouldn't have to convert everyone, but I don't think this is that huge of a deal. Like the religious guys are not that big of a deal. The freaking I can't even say. Yeah, but the persistent 50 years long nationalism. Nationalism it is. That's the problem, really. Conversion zeal no longer disappears on conquest of province. Okay, so I guess that was a bug before. Hindu Republicans can now set... by the way, conversion zeal means it's harder to convert, because it was just converted, I guess, by the rebels. It happens when, like, the Protestants are taking over your country, if you have, like, the religious turmoil and stuff. Hindu Republicans now set a new deity when a new ruler has been elected. I didn't even know that there was a special, like, government type for the Hindustan, I guess. Hindu Republicans. Yeah, I think this is it. Rebalanced and added decisions across religions to make sure there are similar changes to get similar chances to get high missionary strength. That's good. It makes the playing field leveled. Rivals. Countries that are 50% or more apart in tech speed can no longer set each other as rivals. So you can't rival the Spain if you are Korea, I guess. Or I don't know, Mamluks or someone. Maybe this is more aimed at the natives. 50% is a huge difference. Countries that have chosen you as a rival are now always available to be set as a rival, so you can counter-rival every time. This is pretty good, because sometimes you will just end up with no possible rivals, and if someone thinks you are worth it, you can rival them back, and you can keep a little bit of that power projection, which is really good. This is a good change. Like, I struggled with this as Korea in the first couple of decades, I think even the first century. Can no longer buy provinces from or sell provinces to rivals. So it's like, not to make it awkward, you like hate each other so much, why would you like exchange provinces, right? Power projection added when vassalizing rivals or fully annexing them. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that you didn't get power projection when you vassalized rival. I assumed you did, because you should. So I'm guessing this is like a bug fix. Fixed a bug where potential rivals being calculated wrongly when handling countries with overseas provinces. Yeah, this is good as well. Like, if you are big in colonizing, which means you have a huge country, but only a little bit of it is in Europe. I guess this was a problem for the Portugal, maybe, and something like that. Maybe for Scotland if it's colonizing. I'm not sure. But if you have overseas, or maybe if you have even like colonies in Africa, this would like gimp you. So this is a good bug fix. Power projection will also be added when axing out. Like, why is this again twice? This makes no sense. Like, no one has proofread these patch notes. Being bankrupt now decreases settler growth by 200, which makes sense, but sucks, of course. Can no longer colonize provinces that are adjacent to non-core provinces if they are outside colonial range. No longer colonize provinces that are adjacent. Yeah, this actually makes sense, and I don't think it worked before, especially inland. Maybe if you did it along I don't think this worked before, but maybe I'm just wrong. Colonists will now be cancelled when country is annexed. The colony will belong to the annexer. This makes sense. This makes sense. Score. Implemented impact of wars on the underlying monthly score. So lost wars against high-ranked countries with higher peace score are bad for you, while winning wars are good. Okay, so maybe I would get much more score when I played as Korea. This is a pretty cool difference. I don't think they will... Yeah, I think this will still increase in population. It's just a bonus from the colonist being there. So you can just as well just recall the colonist. That's what I think this means. Maybe I'm wrong. We will have to see in the game itself. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know, Kaiser. I only know what I can see in the patch notes. We have to see in the game. So now get a 25% penalty to monthly score for each rival not set. This is a brutal penalty. Like this, like you have a flag up there, right? That's showing like too few rivals. So now we have an extra reason to set the rivals. I think this was an issue maybe in multiplayer games where like you had these huge blobs that didn't want to rival each other up because they wanted to attack everyone else. So maybe this is the reason for this round. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why not to rival everyone you can. Trade. Centers of trade now provide 100% more trade power and naval force limit. That's good. That makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. It's just a buff to the trade of centers of trade. Technology. Countries now get plus 20 production efficiency for being ahead of time in production technology. Like, you at least have a reason why to spend the extra monarch points, but I'm like, this is a huge bonus actually. 20%, that's insane. Countries now get plus 20%, which by the way means in admin power. I'm not sure why it says production technology. Countries now get plus 20% rate efficiency for being ahead of time in diplomatic technology. So this is huge as well. This is really big. And again, this is like an indirect buff to the Europeans because they are the ones who can get ahead of time. Removed PowerPoint penalties from all tech groups. This is a huge buff to everyone outside of the Western tech groups. This is really huge. And this actually makes the westernization much less appealing altogether. Because this was one of the reasons why to do it. And it will make the westernization easier as well. Because you won't lose that 1 point, so it will be faster. So this is a good change. This is a really, really good change. They are still keeping the extra monarch points you have to spend. But you were before also gimped that all of the monarch points were -1. So this is a great change. This is fantastic. And this would like propel me so far ahead in this game. Oh my god. Yes, new patch. Fizz. And welcome. Neighbor bonus is now plus 5% per level and can now reach up to 75% off to let late westernizers have a chance to catch up. So this is a huge change. If you have enough countries around you ahead of the time, you can like leapfrog ahead. 75% is a huge change, but you would need like how many? Like, yeah, like 12. No, it's not 12. It's way too low. Or 15. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of guys around you. Actually, no, it's per level. So yeah, this is actually pretty huge. Like if you are like at 20 everywhere and they are at 25, that's already 15 levels difference. And there you go. You get 75% off. And then you will get less and then less and less and less. But it will let you catch up. This is a great new mechanic actually. It should be patch notes for 1.7, but it I think includes also the patch notes for the new DLC on top as well. Ideas and policies. Added 3 new idea groups. So I guess the window will be a little bit longer. So it's one for everyone. Humanism, influence, and maritime. Tweaked. I don't know what these mean. We will see it in the game. I don't think there's any explanation other than the names. I think that a couple of them is mentioned over here, but like you can't tell until you can see the game. And this may also be only limited to DLC. It's nowhere mentioned. And this up there is like up here says free stuff, so all this should be free, even without the DLC. 3 new idea groups. Tweaked numerous policies that were too strong or too weak. So again, we don't know the specifics, and we will have to check it out in the game. I will check it out tomorrow. I think the patch will. I think it may be going live right now, actually. Moved and removed policies to make sure the MP groups and idea groups have equal amounts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Colonial Settlement Act now gives +1 colonist instead of 10 settler growth, and colonial expansions now give plus settler growth instead of 1 colonist. I think they just swapped them around. So I'm not sure what was first. It might have been the settler growth. And now you get an extra colonist before the extra settler growth. But I may be wrong. They just swapped. They were right after one another. So they just swapped these two. So that's actually a pretty good difference. Yeah, it should be live tomorrow. Yeah. Well, it's actually today, so that's why I'm saying right now. Yeah, drop by, Zibzak. No issue, no issues. Reduce legitimacy and Republican tradition from policies. So it's like the bonus is like +1 Republican tradition per year. And legitimacy as well, which is a kind of nerf, especially if you are recovering. Sucks a lot. If you like have an air with a low legitimacy, that's pretty rough. This one. I guess the Republican tradition makes sense because you could like counterweight the re-electing the same guy over and over again. But yeah, this kind of sucks. Edit lots of new policies connected to the new idea groups. Yeah, this makes sense because you have policy for like I think almost every combination of idea groups, and now they added 3, so they have to like add the policies for every combination of all of them. This will be a lot. It's like how many were there already? Like 12. So this is 3 times 12 at most. It may be less, but that's a lot of new policies. There may be no. There was even more than 12. Like more. 16. 16. Yes, I think it was 16. No, that's not divisible. No, 15. 15. Okay, 15. That's not divisible by 3. Anyway, reworked some national ideas to use the new modifiers. So I think they are talking about the length of the. I always forgot. Damn it. Well, the guys that are pissed that you took their country. I always forget the term, and I use it so much because they suck so much. Yes. Move some ideas around. Yeah. This cannot be more vague. Like, no. This can, maybe it could be like my description of the nationalism. Grand Army is now 20% land force limit, so this is a nerf to the Grand Army. It is an idea in the quality ideas. No, it's in offensive ideas. Yes. So this is a nerf. National conscripts is now 10% faster regiment recruitment speed instead of +25% global manpower. Which is, again, I'm pretty sure a big nerf to the national conscripts. This is a big nerf. Like the manpower is the king. You can't have more manpower saved up. So yeah, this is a big nerf to the national conscripts. Consolidated infantry. No one knows. Like I have searched and there's like no one knows anything about this except for these patch notes and of course the beta testers know stuff. We have to wait. Maybe there is like a blog post since I've started streaming, but I don't think there's anything new. You can check out Reddit. If there is nothing there, there's nothing. Consolidated army, cavalry and artillery cost ideas in quantity into a single regiment cost idea. That's a buff. That's a buff. Well, it depends. Well, they had to add different ideas instead inside. But this is pretty cool. If it's like early, this helps. And the cavalry was the first one, right? In quantity, I think. No. It was like the second, I think the second idea. If all of them are in the second one, this makes quantity ideas the pick of the, like after the offensive ones. Maybe even before the defensive ones, although I still don't think so. Those two. But again, they nerfed them, most likely. Most likely, both of them. So yeah, this may be a viable idea to pick up idea group. Edit ideas to quantity, forced labor. Yeah, so these are the new ideas group. Forced labor system, -20% building power cost. That's great. Oh my god, this is good. This makes the quantity idea so cool. Holy hell, can you imagine paying -20% monarch points per building? Yes, Zevzek. In the last couple of months, I managed to get to the 3rd place. Yes, tomorrow will be a new game. That's why I'm checking out the patch notes. Forced labor system. This is huge. And I don't know why this doesn't mean like this should like increase the like the national revolt chance, revolt risk. This should increase it. Like forced labor, come on, this is such a huge boost. Like you can build an extra building. Like you can build 4 buildings and the 5th one is basically free because the money is everywhere. You never are low on money. Every time you are building buildings, you are low on power. So this is a huge boost. No, it's power cost. It says power cost. The cost is in administrative ideas. There is a different idea that lowers the cost by 20%. It's in administrative idea. This is quantity ideas. It may be, yeah. Hey Kazel, I want to play the pirates, man. Yar. I will at least try them. We'll see how the patch, like, this is messing up with so many things. But well, I have well, you can check out if you weren't around. I think you were around when we played with Snake and Doc. But I have to upload more episodes on YouTube. But there I played as friends. So I played already as an European country. And expanded supply trains, minus 10% land attrition. So like quantity ideas suddenly become like a great idea group. Insanely great. So this is all fantastic. Like this combined into one idea. On top of this idea and expanded supply trains. That's fantastic. I wonder if there is still the minus 25% land attrition in the defensive ideas. If there is, like, you can like just waltz through like fully defensive countries and stuff. This is pretty cool. Swapped names on maritime and naval to be more appropriate to their ideas. Okay, so the old naval ideas are maritime and the naval ideas are a brand new set of ideas. Yeah, I already played as Scotland as well. So, should we check out the AI? Yeah, why the hell not? Renamed cordial attitude to defensive. Okay, this will be much less ambiguous. So this is actually pretty good. Effects of desires your provinces is now scaled down for countries that are weaker than the country who provide provinces they want to conquer. If you remember, Russia, which is way smaller than me, they might not have been less powerful. But they demanded 280 provinces from me. 280. And on top of that, they demanded 150 from Hindustan and about 100 from the Ottomans. So this should scale it down. But this is mostly not about Russia. There were like 3 province countries that demanded like 400 provinces. AI will now form Scandinavia when it can do so. I thought it did in our game, but maybe it was... I think it was a player. So this is a cool thing. So this is actually pretty good because the AI will create Hindustan. Like they created countries before. I've seen AI create Egypt, even Hindustan. So they like created countries. I think this is specifically about Scandinavia. Fix an exploit where you could call the AI into wars you know they will dishonor in order to get a CB on them. Yeah. I don't think I used it. But I've seen other like YouTubers use this tactic to get CBs on their allies. AI should be now harder to fool with cancelled moves. I don't think they were that fooled. Well, yeah, I don't know how this works. Like they can't see in your mind. Like they will assume that you are cancelling the move. I'm not sure what this means. AI will now never revoke embargoes against countries they are at war with. That makes sense. I guess this was just a bug in AI before that they revoked embargoes at random. AI better at converting pagan provinces. Okay. Better AI. AI, higher priority on production buildings in gold provinces, which is another like buff to the AI. These are not that interesting. The AI should now be much better at building buildings, repaying loans, and saving money. This is a huge one. Like remember, every time someone dropped from the game, and returned after a couple of years, found his finances ruined with 100 loans, being heavily in debt, having no manpower, and like the money was the worst part. You were like, I don't know, you had 20% inflation, and you spent the next 10 years before the game crashed again for you, fixing your finances so the AI could ruin it again. So this is a great fix, if it works, which we don't know how well this all works. This all like only like claims from the developers. Fix display bug where once your provinces was showing the wrong far too large number. So maybe they didn't want 280, they wanted just like, I don't know, 30. So this actually was a bug. Tweaked AI priority for declaration of Indulgence Act. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure what this means. Yeah, Cooper, you, like, yeah, I have so much money. Like, Ottomans were like economic superpower. And then Cooper dropped off from the game, returned, and his finances were in ruins. He had loans and debts everywhere, no money left. I don't know what the AI like thinks. They're like overspending. They are super capitalists. Tweaked AI priority for declaration. Yeah, this is what I said. Improvements to recruit AI. AI now knows when to use unfocused natural focus. Okay. The natural focus is in the, I think in the DLC, isn't it? Yeah. Or is it? I think it is. Yeah. It basically, maybe it's the stuff with the, I think it's the new stuff, yeah. Where you can switch from, you have like base +3 to all monarch powers. And you can switch it to +5 to 1 and +2 to others. I think that's a natural focus. But maybe it's the reformed stuff. It may be the reformed religion stuff. Because I haven't played reformed ever since it was changed. It may be it. General improvements to budget AI. Which I guess again is about money. Fixed an issue with budget AI that was preventing AI from building ships. Well, okay, again money. Fixed some issues with budget AI. This is all about money. It was crippling AI armies. AI will no longer subsidize a country they want to weaken or is in a coalition against under any circumstances. I would like to know the circumstances under which they subsidize their enemies. Fixed like AI subsidized me when I was playing as Ireland and I was fighting the Great Britain, which already formed. Why then? But I've won the war and I've gained like I'm thinking like 700 ducats from France and someone else who just hated England because I was at war with them. This was great. Is Obama AI? I'm not, no. let's not go there. Now he's trying to like bring a little bit of social stuff into your insanely capitalist country, man. You have to pay for that stuff. Just don't build your freaking F-35s that are just costing billions and can't even fly. Fix the bug that was preventing AI from using trade fleets. Well, AI more willing to spend legitimacy to boost. Like, this is more fun than like new stuff. Like, I didn't know there was this bug, but it's kind of funny that this AI built like a bunch of light chips and then they didn't use them, so it was just stuck in the ports. More willing to spend legitimacy to boost a local noble if current ruler is foreign in an elective monarchy. Okay. Less willing to spend legitimacy to boost a local noble if current ruler is a local in an elective monarchy. This is like, I don't know, AI 101, right? Like, what the hell? This should have been there already when they introduced the elective monarchy. Fixed inconsistency between call ally screen and actual AI response. Yes! One finally fantastic thing, because do you remember, I'm sure it happened to you as well. You are calling in an ally and it says, yes, I will join your war. And then you will start the war and you say, fuck you. Nope. So this should prevent this to happen. This is a fantastic bug. fix. Manually calling the AI to a war where you know they will refuse will result in a huge trust hit. Okay, so this is, I guess, something to do with this fixing this exploit. So yeah. So I guess you will still get the CB on them, but they will hate you for it. Fixed a bug where the AI would refuse to make peace despite being offered all of its demands. Yeah, this is actually fine as well. I think I met this thing only when I was trying to play as Grenada, and like Spain wanted all my provinces on Iberian Peninsula. I offered, and they said nope, and then they took out everything I got in in freaking Africa as well. Might not have been this bug, but it's the closest one I think I can think of. Will no longer give provinces in peace to countries that have a leader may negotiate unchecked. Okay. So I guess those may... I think AI always checks this, but if you are a human player in a war and you don't want the provinces the war leader can't... No, AI. Okay, yeah, if you are at war on the side of AI and you don't want the provinces, you just uncheck this and they will not return you the provinces. So this is good, actually. If you are, for example, overextended already and you don't want them, then yeah, this is a great bug fix. AI should no longer desire random scattered provinces inside a country. Yeah. You know what? It was funny when like Russia demanded, I don't know, Beijing, which isn't, yeah, Beijing and my capital. And I think they demanded desired the Ottoman capital as well. So yeah. So many of you in the chat. Oh, welcome people. Welcome, you beautiful people. AI will no longer set allies as rivals if keep alliance AI preference is on. I'm not sure what this means. It's something inside of AI, I guess. AI will no longer assault at low morale. Yeah, there should be a way. There should be a way to tell the AI or reader that what provinces or things you would like in the war. That should be there. Also, as I said before yesterday, there is an option in Victoria 1, which is older than I think both of Crusader Kings 2 and the EU4, where you can, with a click of a button, assume control of your vassal armies. That would be such a huge boost to the vassals, like infinite boost. Introduce this, please, in one of the patches. That would be fantastic. I would even send a diplomat for that action to happen. I don't want a button that will like enable it at will, but let me like ask them, do you want to give me the control of your armies? If they trust me enough, they will give me the control and they will not just waste war score and stuff. But this isn't in this no, this isn't sadly in the game. AI will no longer assault at raw morale, so I actually almost never use assault, the force, but I guess AI just wasted manpower while assaulting with no morale, so yeah. A bug fix, like any other. Fix that bug where the AI would consciously move between two adjacent provinces while supporting a siege. Continuously. Yeah. That's a great bug fix as well. It happens especially with your vassals. Yes, they just don't, they can't make up their mind, and they will just move back and forth and not siege anything. Fix the bug where the AI would prioritize blockading straits. It had no strategic reason to blockade. Okay. I guess there was like AI blockade straits at all costs. Most likely they will be useful, but I guess, yeah. This is how we defeated the Japan, right? We destroyed their fleet and then we took the small island and the other one while blockading the straits. That was a brilliant tactical move, and I have to thank the Ryuku for helping in that war as well. Interface. Should I go through all of this? User modding. I guess, like, why are the bug fixes like, okay, I will go with just the user interface. There may be something interesting there. Trait interface is now updated when stuff happens. cached. So does it do it when it happens, or is it cached? Live and cached. There is a difference. It's like a contradiction. The merchant chosen will then get sent, not the first available. I don't know this happened, but did it make any difference? Like all of the ones in the pool not doing anything, it doesn't make any difference. Like it might have been confusing if you sent one guy there and then someone else ended up there. Removed unused elements. Yeah, that's a good interface upgrade. The button when a merchant is present is now a toggle and will change between collect and transfer trade power. That's great. Now you have these two buttons, and sometimes it's kind of confusing which one you are supposed to pick. So yeah, this is great. This is great. I wonder how the toggle looks like. Maybe it's just a press in button. No, it makes no sense. It will just, I don't know, maybe some kind of radio button. Factions view will now handle custom factions. No, like the factions, I guess from mods. Fixed alignment of faction button when HRE and papacy are visible. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The buttons down here for the HRE and the papacy. Okay, and that's fine because sometimes I guess they were moved around, which wasn't the best. And when you have different factions, you should have like different stuff, and you have custom factions, you should have a button there as well. Airbox now shows when the next election is for republics with elections. This is great. So the airbox is actually useful for the republics, and you can tell when the next election is about to hit. You don't just have to guess, which is great. Government tooltip no longer shows when next election is. Okay, so you were able to do it, but now it's on a much more consistent place. So okay, I messed up there. Yes, Cooper. I have more viewers for the patch notes than for the gameplay itself. I'm actually dropping frames, but for the patch note it shouldn't make much of a difference. This one is great, but we are not there yet. Tooltip for possible policies is now shown when hovering over idea group name, which is good. I guess it only used to be visible over the icon, so now it's visible over everything, so that's like an interface upgrade. That's nice. If you have no data selected, there will be an alert notifying you. Yeah. So I think that's for the Reformed, or this is for the Hindu. I'm not really sure. I haven't played anything with the data yet, and I completely skipped this. Player map mode now colors in subject in player color as well, which is great. Like before, when I was showing you the player map mode, you could see like France, but you couldn't see that they have all of these provinces like in South America and their colonial nations, as well as me with my Alaska, and especially like Spain and other ones. This is fantastic. Well, especially for streamers, this is great. This is much easier because I had to switch back and forth to show you all this stuff, because they are invisible basically in the player. They were invisible in the player map mode. Edit alert when your card will become junior partner on monarch death. This is really good, I guess. Never happened to me, but this sucks, of course. So this, I'm kind of appalled that they didn't have this pop up already before. This alert. Alex and yeah, this is what I've already covered. Annex and integrate now says unknown instead of never if below 15 diplomatic at start. Yeah, that's good, because it's like it didn't make any sense, because you would have to just wait to accumulate that 15 diplomatic power, then it would jump ahead, and then it would be like this was just wrong. So unknown is much better than never. It's just better wording. Fixed base tax of annexed nation not being displayed in diplomatic annexation screen. There it is! Is this it? Yes! Snake! There it is! This is it! This is what you asked for! Finally, they fixed it! I think this is it! Yes! What? You were playing the Ottomans and Algiers had you as a junior prisoner in the prisoner union? What? Yeah, I will not start the game tomorrow. So people can join, everyone can be fresh, even me. And I haven't decided all the stuff yet. But Snake, this is it. It should be fixed. So yeah, again, just to explain, now in the 1.6.2, if you hover in the product annexation screen, I think it is. Is it? Is this it? I think it's. Yes. It was just showing a wrong number. It was showing 20 for everyone, like 20, which would be awesome, but it was like in reality it was like 200, and you couldn't tell. Like there is like this like formula for getting it, like figuring it out from the base tags, and you have to also like Berber tradition goes in it, and having the fully aristocratic ideas as well. Like all of this was kind of awkward, and you had to guess most of the time. So yeah, this is fantastic. Tomorrow, Snake. It should go out tomorrow, 16th of July. Republican tradition, no, not displayed as percent in tooltip. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Why would it be shown as percent? Like, they're just cutting out the percent because it's like 0 to 100 anyway. Rival selection now is a tooltip if you cannot change rival. Okay, that makes sense again. So you don't have to just guesswork. Cleanup of tooltip and values for navies in a rival selection. I never actually checked out the huge pop-up that shows up when you are selecting a rival. Like the rivals are mostly clear cut most of the time, so you know what to select either way. But yeah, this is a good fix, of course. Can see the rival selection screen without being able to change rival. Nice! That's fantastic. So you can check out all your possible rivals even without changing the rivals, or even being able to select the rival, which is just fantastic. This is a great change as well. Because right now you would say like, maybe I want to like rival Russia instead of Ottomans, but then you figure out you can't do it, and maybe it isn't as good of an idea because you don't gain as much stuff. So this is fantastic. An error message will now pop up if an error occurred during the save process. Okay, that's... I assume this was already in the game. This kinda makes me... I don't know. This brings some gray hair to my head, like from the past. Global settler increase no longer displayed as percentage. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah. So again, the settler increase was like fixed number, and it was showing with the percentage, so they just cut this piece off. Possible policies, because it was confusing, of course, because you had like 30, and you would assume that 10% of that is only 3. In fact, it was 10. Can see the... No, cleanup? Where was I? Okay, there we go. There we go. Possible policies always shown when hovering idea group light bulb. Okay, I think this was already shown before. But, yeah. Oh, that's right. Maybe if you are just selecting an idea group. So that's great. Control selecting will now select only ships, which is fantastic, because before, like, if you block selected, and there was single regiment there, and 100 ships, it would select that one regiment. You could get around it by selecting one ship, then shift selecting, it would select the other ships. But this is much more, like, much better. You don't have to, like, do this stuff around, and you can just control and select and just the ships, which is another great change. The in-game menu are now closed after a successful save. Great. It was confusing because you would save, there would be like a list of the saves, but your save wasn't showing. It was just showing in the like save name. And if you hit the save again, it's like the only way to figure out if it's really saved. because it would say if the save file already exists. So yeah. When you declare Independence War, game will no longer tell you that the monarch has died. Oh! Okay. So, oh yeah. Because you will lose the old monarch, the game previously assumed that he died, and it showed that he died. Instead, he just was still the monarch of your overlord, but he didn't die in reality. It was confusing and funny, I guess. Correct naval leader icon is displayed in the end of combat window. Yeah, I guess bug fix. Change phrasing when vassalizing in peace over brings taken into war. Change phrasing when vassalizing in peace. Peace offer brings taker into war. Okay. Okay. So if you, yeah, this is just a different phrase, like different wording when you are. If I did it with Kazan, when I vassalized them, I was dragged into the war with Lithuania because they were at war with Lithuania before that, and so I took over the war. So now it's much clearer that you will be dragged into this war. Siege units will now probably be removed from map, even though the camera is not there upon removal. Oh, okay, this is good. And it was kind of confusing, I guess, because if you zoomed out and then zoomed in, they were there for a while before like disappearing, I guess. Yeah. War exhaustion in country economy view will no longer skip to next row when large. Okay, it just breaks down the UI. So that's it. Let's not check out anything else. The most important stuff, of course, well, for me, it's the quantity ideas seem really powerful right now. Like one of the first picks for sure. And then there is the truce length, which is just bad in my opinion, and I will try to mod it out of the next multiplayer session because this is just stupid. And another tweet, this is great. Although if I revert this and it's possible to do this, no, it makes sense. Like another tweet, this should last longer than the peace, like the truce. So yeah. Maybe I will let it scale a little bit, like for 5 to 8 years, not even 10, because even 10 years is huge. But make it a little bit different. Maybe from like 3 to 8 or something like this, if it's possible with the modding. But that's it for the patch notes. So thank you everyone so much for watching me today, even through the patch notes. That was incredible how many of you were around. Sticking around. I hope I explained everything. Well, most of the stuff I'm pretty sure I explained well, or at least as far as I know. And let's look forward to the next DLC, which should be fantastic. And let's look forward to most of the patch notes, which aren't fantastic because there's a couple of questionable ones. So thank you again so much for watching today. If you are not already, please follow me on the Twitch. It is fantastic from you if you are, and you will get a notification when we start the next multiplayer session tomorrow. And if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. It's free, and follow on the Twitch as well. Again, thank you so much guys for watching me, and you have been epic. And until next time, until tomorrow, bye bye.